And what are two or three things that are important for you after hiring a realtor?
Number one, Deborah, be aggressive marketing plan.
Okay.
Number three, and you have to be confident you can sell my house.
Okay. And is there a fourth?
Fourth, that would be, of course, I gotta net the most money in my pocket so I can move, like we talked about on the phone.
Okay, great. Excellent. And do you absolutely have to sell your home?
Oh yeah, I need to sell this home because I need to buy in the Park City, so that's more expensive. I gotta sell this one.
Excellent. That's fantastic. And will you price your home to sell, or would you prefer to keep it on the market for an extended period?
I need to sell, but I don't want to give away. So it quickly better. I don't want to stay too long. I'm like last agent did in the past. So yeah, I need to get it. I need to get it sold.
Okay, well, great. So you were able to look at the comps, I mean, not the comps, the price, the seller net. How do you
That
feel
sheet, you
about the
said that?
seller net? Do you see that seller net? What do you think about that
Yeah, the
net?
numbers kind of smaller than that I expected. So yeah, it's a little smaller than I expected. I don't know why, but you may explain to me why.
For a downsizing market, what were you hoping to net?
Well, I hoping to net like a $500,000.
500?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't see why I can't get close to that. But one thing I want to tell you is that the buyer is going to set the stage for what you're going to probably get. But why don't I go over the CMA with you? Because it sounds to me like you're ready to sign, right? You just want to talk about the.
Yeah, well, I'm the ready or not. I need to hear from you first, and I have a couple agents come over and later on. So this time I don't want to make the same mistake. I gotta interview at least three or four, so make sure I get the right one this time.
Well, you know what? I do respect that, John, that want to talk to some other agents. But once I share the information with you, you're going to clearly see why you don't need to spend any more time with not working with any other agents. Because my goal is to be able to communicate with you. And as you can see, I gave you that communication guarantee. And were you able to look over that marketing plan?
A little bit. I think some of them just it's kind of blurred.
Okay,
Because I'm not a
okay.
salesperson. You're the one, so you might be explaining to me a little more.
Okay, that's fine. And I can do that. And also, I hope you can see that I'm very confident in being able to sell your home. I know those are the points that you mentioned when we first got started here. So now all we have to do is talk about the price. And when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that you want to be, where do you want to be, John?
Park City,
What is it?
Park City,
Prot City? How do you spell that?
Park, Park.
Oh, Park City. Okay, and when did you say you wanted to be there?
So you know what? My home is on the market for 6 months. I was yes, 6 months ago.
Okay, so SAP, right?
Yeah, ASAP. I got the price I'm looking for. Yeah, I moved.
Okay. And John, are you familiar with the difference between passive and active marketing regarding real estate?
No, I thought on the you can do the same thing, right?
No, a lot of people think that. And unfortunately, that's why you're in the situation you are. You weren't able to sell your home. But 99% of the agents take a passive approach. They list the home in the multiple listing on websites and they hope and pray that it will sell. The trouble with this method is that basically agents are sitting around waiting for buyers to call them. This passive approach is why most agents sell only a handful of homes each year. Well, I take a different approach. I take a strategic, proactive, and results driven because home sellers deserve more than just hope. They deserve action. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good. I'm glad you agree. And in addition to the passive marketing strategy the other agents use, I will also actively and aggressively market your home. Let me show you how I'll do that.
Okay.
I will personally contact the top agents in our area to let them know your house is for sale and invite them to bring their buyers. Okay.
Okay.
And most buyers begin their search online, then contact their local agent. In the midst of thousands of homes for sale, the most essential thing that will attract buyers to your house is the price. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Another critical aspect of creating online exposure is ensuring that we have beautiful professional photos. And I'll schedule a professional photo shoot and we'll produce high quality images for your online presence. Gone are the days of us using our phone. Everyone is online, and we have to give your property the absolute best look and an excellent description that will make your home stand out. And I'm an expert on that.
Okay. I thought my previous agent did the same thing. They hired professional,
Well, I don't want to
taking
be
pictures and that.
negative, but the pictures weren't probably the best, and some of the writing really didn't point out all the beautiful amenities and things that your property has to offer.
So what you say is the picture previous agent did the pictures not sell the house. That's what the cost now didn't sell.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I just know that I can get you better photos.
Okay.
Okay, I can get you better photos and I can describe it a lot better that will attract more buyers to your home because what happens is people are online, they're looking at what you say. Some people don't even see a home. Some people are buying homes without even coming into the home. And with this market that we're in, you do have to have the best exposure with the best information. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And here's what's separate. Do you have any questions on my marketing plan?
No, actually, I just that's curious that that picture is gonna sell my house. So yeah, um, so far so good. So
Okay, great. And here's what separates me from other agents. Monday through Thursday, from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m., I'm on the phone looking for buyers and sellers. I speak to 20 to 30 people daily about buying and selling real estate. You and I both know there's a buyer for your home, right?
yeah, it's gotta be some buyers.
And my job is to find the buyer. And so you've gone over my 30-minute, 30-point marketing plan, and this is what you'd expect from your agent, right?
Yeah, I get it all.
Okay, and you've also looked at my communication guarantee. You see
Yeah,
that?
yep, I
Oh,
see that one. Yeah.
and what stands out there is that if for some reason that I don't communicate with you, you're gonna get actually $100 from me. And there's no
$100.
limit.
Can I
There's
just
no
cancel it?
limit.
If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I don't want $100. I want to cancel. I don't want to stick with a agent who's not performing on the
Right.
works.
And I understand that. And instead of me making promises, I make decisions and I back them up in writing. Okay. And right here, you can see the communication guarantee. That's just how confident I am. And that's what you're looking for in your agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to communicate with you every week. And it says every week, but pretty much once we get everything going, I've got the photo shoot, all the marketing is in place. You're going to hear from me probably every day until everything is laid out. Okay. But I'm guaranteeing that you're going to hear from me at least once a week. Now, may I ask you, what is your preferred way for me to contact you? Do you prefer text or email, or me or by phone? What is your preference?
You know what? I would prefer no full call because I want to know exactly what's going on, you know.
So you prefer a phone call?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And if I fail to contact you in any given week, I will reduce my commission by $100. There is no limit to the number of times it can be reduced. But you won't have to worry about using that communication guarantee, but I want you to have peace of mind to know that I'm backing up what I offer you, okay?
Okay.
You're going to hear from me. And as a real estate expert, I study the market and I'm going to share some key insights so we can agree on the price and get your home sold. So we can move together, so you can move to Prake.
Park.
Of course, Proc. I'm not going to
Park
have
City.
you
Yeah.
sitting here 6 months.
Okay.
My whole goal is to get this wrapped up probably before the end of July. How does that sound for you?
That sounds good if that happened.
Okay, I can make that happen. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and look at the price? Now, you said you wanted 500, okay? And at the end of this presentation, one of three things will happen. You'll list your home with me, you'll decide not to, or I'll choose not to take the listing. Any of these is fine. Let's take a quick review of what we discussed over the phone. You're moving to Pratt? Because why are you moving there anyway?
I'm retired. I want to move out there.
Oh, you want to retire. Okay, wow. You just gonna, okay, that's great. So you want to retire. That is so wonderful. And you said you wanted me there as soon as possible. You want to price your home around 500 and you owe how much?
I own about less than $100,000.
Wonderful. So you've got a lot of equity there. And
Yeah, that's
so
why I need the money to buy the
what,
property out there.
have you picked a property already?
No, I just look up online. I haven't picked the
Okay.
property yet.
Well, I'm a one-stop shop. I actually have other agents that can help you in that area as well. Would you like me to go ahead and make some calls for that situation?
I can't do anything right now because I need to sell this home first.
Right. But what I can do is I can get you set up with an agent that's in that area you like most, and they're very professional. How does that sound?
This sounds good.
Okay, great. And I'm going to make note of that. And so the price of your home is 100. You owe, okay. What were you planning to sell it yourself, or you definitely don't want to rent it? You want to just cash out, right?
Yeah, I need to cash out.
Okay, that's good. Well, there are only two issues that we need to look at today. One, your motivation to sell. Two, the price that we set. There are two paths to the research. Part one is what we call fantasy land, what homeowners list their homes for. Part two is we call reality, what real estate agents list and sell their homes for. We'll have to decide today where you want to spend your time. Let's review what's currently for sale, and we're going to look at what recently sold. I want to make sure we price your home so your home is the next one to sell in your area. We don't want to sell your neighbor's house. I saw your neighbor's house has been on the market for some time, and actually they have theirs priced at 500. Is that why you liked 500?
No, I said I want a net five hundred
You
thousand
want a
dollars.
net 500. Okay, gotcha. So what made you determine that price?
The net $500,000.
Yes.
Yeah, I look my neighbor's house and I mean sold, and that's what my last agent calculated the net sheet. That's $500,000. That's what I'm gonna walk away with.
Okay, so that's what helps you determine that. Okay.
Yes.
John, and I respect that and I appreciate you sharing that. Do you know how buyers assess value?
No, actually, I don't.
Buyers determine the value by comparison shopping. They look at the price of the house based on your home's features and benefits, and they compare it with the features and benefits of similar homes that have recently sold or are currently on the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that make a lot of sense.
Okay, great. Well, Think of it like buying a car. Two identical cars, both 50K, but one has an entertainment center. Which one is more valuable?
The one more than and entertainment, it costs the same. Yeah.
Okay, yep, that's right. And what if one without a system for 45K? Which would be the better value?
What do you mean? The one
So
without.
if you had another the same identical cars, but one that didn't have the entertainment center, but they price it at 45K, which is the better value?
Well, 45K, I don't need the entertainment. I just want to drive that car to work and come home. That's it.
Right, right. So you can see if you want to increase your value, you're going to either lower the price or you're going to have more features for the same price. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you understand that. And so unless you're planning to add more features to your home, are you?
No, I'm not gonna add anything. I'm not gonna spend any more money on my house. That's
Okay,
it. I'm done.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, you have a nice home. You've done a lot of work here. And I wouldn't recommend it. I know some agents are going to say paint, new carpet, new flooring, but I don't recommend it. Let's price it. That's the key. Let's price it right. So, based on all this information, what price do you think would entice a buyer to choose your home versus all the others that are down the street here?
Well, the last time we priced it for $600,000. So I think that that's the price that I'm looking for. What do you think?
Well, looking at the comps here, being that your neighbor whose house is pretty much similar and they actually have a larger lot than you, and their pricing there is at 500. I wouldn't recommend, I mean, it's a big steep. They're aggressive with their pricing. I wouldn't recommend you shoot up to that 600 right now. I really don't. Because we don't want to help them sell their home. We want yours to be the next one to sell. So I would really think that you might probably want to be at like, I know it's a little steep, a little low, but like 475. I'm thinking 475. How do you feel
Hey,
about that?
I got $600,000 last time. Now you tell me to lower to 475. That's almost $250,000.
Right, it is. It's a big steep. It's but then we're in a downsizing market. And I don't want you to feel uncomfortable about the price, but I also don't want you to feel uncomfortable about you not being able to go to Pratt. I know you want to go there. And I'm pretty sure if we priced it right there, what would happen is we would get a whole new network of buyers. I mean, we're going to get them from all over. More than likely, you're going to probably net more than that, but at least that can get them in the door, and I'll be able to negotiate a better price for you because I'm a master negotiator. Okay. If you started it here, even though it's uncomfortable, okay, I know it's uncomfortable, but your neighbor is at 500. Let's price it under them. Okay, we get the house on the market. We have great pictures. We use all my marketing. I get top agents in there. And at 475, I could have you down the road by the end of July. That's what I'm pretty sure I can do that. How does that sound?
Well, that sounds good. By the way, if I lower my price, so I expect you gotta lower your commission then, right?
Well, you know what? One thing I don't do is price a home according to what the fee for service is that I set. Okay. Because I'm not going to, what should I say? I'm not going to discount the marketing that I'm going to do for you. I'm going to get you down the road as quickly as you want to. You will clearly see the fee for service that I charge. You're going to get way more. And one other thing I want to tell you, John, There is no stress. I don't do stress. I'm going to stay in touch with you. You're going to be excited. You're going to let your family and friends know that Deborah did everything she said she was going to do. My marketing plan, my communication guarantee. You'll clearly see why the fee for service, I don't go discount because you're going to get so much from me, quality wise.
Okay.
Okay, so what I do is what price do you want? What price do you want? Do you feel good about
Can
this?
we try like a 550? Let's see how that go first because I don't want to
It's
give away. So let's try
I
that and
I
then below the later.
I don't recommend it. I really don't. I mean, your neighbor, his looks pretty good. I checked it out. He's at 500. His house has been sitting there. It's been sitting there for a minute now. I mean, you didn't get to sell it the last time. I would not recommend it. You need to really think about that because you don't want to have your house just sitting there going stale. Actually, people are going to think that something's wrong with it. That's what they're going to think. We don't want to go so high that we end up helping. I want to get new buyers in there. Now, I'm not saying that you would get that price of 475. I'm figuring you're going to get closer to, I know you said 600, but I don't recommend it. I really don't.
So you said 475 would to get it so quickly.
Get it so quickly, and I'm going to get new buyers in there. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a bidding war. Maybe we'll have some other buyers excited about the house, and they'll want to go ahead and maybe we'll get multiple offers. I don't guarantee it, but it would be nice if you had it priced under what your neighbor was because their property looks great. Did you see it?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but I think mine's got more benefit than them there.
Right. Well, you know what? Like I was sharing with you, the buyers, a lot of times, you bringing the price down. I mean, you do have nice features, but not everyone wants a corner lot. I think that, your lot is wonderful, but not everyone wants a quarter lot. Some people don't want to worry about that grass and all the extra expenses that go into that wonderful lot you have.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
You feel good? Okay, but then tell you what, as I mentioned in the meeting, my goal is to help you understand the market so you can feel comfortable. And I'm going to get you the price that you want so you can get down the road. So let's get the paperwork going.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Let's do
Okay,
it.
great. Thank you. I look forward to helping you. We're going
All
to get
right.
this house sold, and I'm going to let you know when my photographer is going to come out.
All right. I gotta sell this one. So
I'm going to be
hopefully I'm
calling
not.
you. You're going to be hearing from me every day, every day.
Okay. All right. That
Okay?
sounds good. Let's do it.
Yay, thank you.
All
Fantastic.
right.
Big
Good
presentation.
job.
Hey, so Deborah, you've come a long way on that aggressive. Let's close them now. Sign it now. So I thought that was great. I mean, how do you feel about
Well, you know what? Today when I got your text, I was excited because I'm like, Ron, you've been so diligent and you've been trying to keep us in the game. And I mean, I don't know how many presentations you're doing or what you guys are doing, but I need to be practicing because you get rusty. You get rusty, even though I wasn't prepared as much as I would like to be. This is what we have to do. We have to be able to hit it on the fly. We
it?
got to be,
Absolutely.
and we can't leave right now without something. I don't know how you
I
guys are doing,
I
but
agree
I'm
with you
like, boom,
100%.
boom.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this market though is that there are a lot of agents, and I'm not knocking the agents that are going part-time, but there are a lot of agents who have to do certain things. But if we're full-time realtors, that's our advantage right now because we've already been working for the last 2 or 3 years up in our game, and now we have to shine. We don't want somebody to beat us to the call. I mean, I know I get drained at times, but we just have to keep working hard. And I appreciate this opportunity. I would like to get better. I noticed some of my stuff wasn't in my packet because I hadn't used it in a minute, but it just allows me to make sure my papers are in line. And I remembered something that you said, Ron. When you're looking at the house, you give them, because you go ahead and email them stuff.
Yes.
And I haven't even had a chance to do that. But I'm working on this one listing that she's been looking at stuff to buy, but I'm going to be ready. Email her my marketing plan, email her the guarantee so they can sit down while I run through the house real quick and
Very good.
just slam dunk it. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, that's what came across. I mean, yes, you did fill in last minute, but you know your scripts, you know your dialogue well enough now that you can just do it. It shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to get prepared for a listing presentation. So, you run the comps, boom, you're out of there. So John, did you feel that she would have closed you? I know it was a price gap, but that's what it's taking to get homes sold right now. You got to adjust the faster you can adjust the price, the better off you are right now in this market. So, yeah, at least that's what I'm seeing in my market. John, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, this is good. I mean, the price gap is pretty steep there. It's almost $150,000, and at the same time, you know, when the seller said they want to net $500,000, so I gotta run the numbers, and she did run the numbers. That the neighbors have done $500,000. So when I say that, just try for 550, and then I don't know, I forgot what her response was. I was hoping she said, you know what, yeah, that's good options. We can try 550. You know what my concern is? My concern is, when we put your home on 550 and your neighbors are 500, so we gotta, this picture is like a runaway. So they gotta head at first. So they got sold first, and we can be second, or we did the third numbers. So you want to get to the Park City, but nah, ASAP. Let the price right. Then we get more buyer looking to your home. You know what happened? The buyers looking to your home, the more chance we gonna get an offer. If nobody look at your home, what's the chance gonna be?
No.
Zero, right?
Yeah.
Zero people look at your home, zero offer. There's more chance. So the picture to the Walmart. More people go to Walmart. What's the chance you're gonna sell? A lot of stuff, right? Even cheap, but the more stuff versus more expensive. Of course, you go in there more expensive people. How many people gonna shop there? The few, so they sell few stuff, but it's more expensive. So that's one thing I take away that one. And secondly, she said, you know what? It's too. And I like what she said, that 30 point on marketing, but she didn't tell exactly what 30 point. The 30 point almost. I'm not guaranteed, but I'm confident that 30 point gonna get the property sold. And when I asked, I is that when you talk about a passive, I said that's my previous agent did the same thing, take pictures, nice pictures. And she go, then that's what I asked, the picture sell the house. And she explained, pictures and on the live, people look on live first and look, and then they go look at the property. That's about that's gonna impress people. And then its appearance, it's more better than, people, that's key there. I like that one. And I thought you could close me earlier, so just keep going. I say I'm ready, but just keep going. Yeah. When they see that ready, just close him. Say, "Well, let them sign the contract with me to work, and so I can get a property sold for you." It's and and she kind of jumped two things. And Deborah, this you jump two things. I think you stay the same one, which when you go to marketing plan, then you
Yeah.
gotta stick a marketing plan. You said your action, but before you ask me, say, hey, do you have any question on my action? You gotta finish your action first. Tell everything
Okay.
what you do. Then come to the end and say, hey, you have any question about marketing plan before we go into pricing?
Yeah,
Then
I
you're
need
done
to
with that,
tighten
then you
that
go to,
up. I
yeah,
do. I need to, because that 30, that when you first start, it's the 30, the 3 minute. You go to the 3 minute, and then because some people will sign. I haven't had that case. Probably if somebody I knew would probably do that, but I still never want to get away from doing that 3 minute because I love that 3 minute. But I thought that kind of you did want me to go into it a little bit. But that's why Ron, the way Ron's system works, is you email them that stuff. So you don't. But I do need to tighten that up a little bit. I realize that. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's
I
kind
like
of
that.
redundant. It's kind of redundant in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you said your action plan, then you ask me. I have the question. No, then now you go back to action plan again. So if I say no, then you're done. Then I go to pricing. In
right.
other words, say, hey, if you agree with pricing, will you be ready to list your home with me? That's so one. So you done with the action plan already. So they agree with action plan. Now you go to pricing. They agree with pricing. Then you're done. If you're not
Mhm,
done, maybe you get the commission. So you got to go back to commission and share why you charge that much,
mhm.
because that's a benefit to them. I mean, they got to net them more money because last
Right.
agent they do the good job, so you got to do better job to get a profit. So after all, that's good. I like that. Yeah, good
But I'm
job.
All
not
right.
I'm not coming off that price right now because think about all the money we have to spend to get the photographer in there, to get all our networking, all our marketing set up. I mean, that's an expense out of our pocket right off the bat. And so I feel like I would do myself a disservice if I don't have that house priced right. I want a listing, but I'm not pressed if it's not priced right. It's
Yeah,
as
you,
simple
Yeah,
you
as that.
can't you can't be attached to the outcome, guys. You can't be attached to the outcome.
Mm-mm.
So be honest with them. Tell them an actual price you think will cause the sell, and then close them on it. Anita, she's got her hand raised. Anita, there she is.
Yeah. Great presentation, Deborah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like this presentation because it was organized, details, and it went in alignment with what we've been told and around everybody's telling us. So you did awesome. The thing I would say is, I wrote notes. Let me go to my
Thank
notes.
you.
Um, you closed them earlier. Try to close them earlier. And then when you say the commission, if they have anything to say about that commission, it's not negotiable with the bottom price. It has nothing to do with their net price. Your commission is your commission. So I don't know how you're gonna put it, find a way to say, I usually just say no. I say no, I just say my commission is not part of your bottom line because it isn't. My job is to cause your home to sell and bring you the right qualified buyers. And then once I do that, that's it. That's my job. So you did an awesome job. I took notes. I learned a lot from this. I like the way you went back into the pre-qual. So this way you reminded them what their motivation is. You got their pain point and what he really wanted to do. So thank you.
And you know something, I appreciate that, the feedback from John and from you, Anita and Ron. The thing is, when you follow a script, I don't really see where they even talk about the commission. I know that John did bring it up. I very rarely hear them talk about the commission because it is already sitting in the net. And I would like to have been a little more prepared since it's on the fly with his net. But when you do the pre-qualification before you even go out, you already know the numbers and you're putting everything on there. And with Ron, which I love, and I never did this, send them that net. They already see that. I think that's with a feather in the hat there because I never did that. I was like, shoot, I'm not sending them my net. But with Ron, the master here, he knows what he's doing. He sends it. He sends everything right up front. So you don't really discuss that. And right now, the climate that I'm in where I am, I mean, there are a lot of agents getting 3 and 4 in the DMV, but right now I hate to tell you this, I've been being really, what should I say, careful with that too. But a lot of people have equity. You can get that 3 or 4. I don't know what you all are getting, but you can get it without them trying to. I mean, if you're looking at a lower price, you want to be flexible, but it's not really coming up a lot. It really isn't. The commission isn't coming up a lot.
Fantastic. Arthur.
Yeah, a couple, three comments. It was great. Yeah, I like going, I could hear the script coming through, and obviously you were on the spur of the moment, so you were looking at it a little bit more than you normally would, I'm sure. But it was great. It was great. I heard something a couple of days ago, Ron, that it kind of was funny. It was a Tom Ferry Zoom webinar,
Uh-huh.
and it had these guys. It had a girl, a lady, and two guys that put on this thing. And one, I forget Andrew's last name, but the idea that talking about commission, it was really funny. Said, okay, so someone said, well, what about the commission? Can you lower? Do you have a problem lowering it? He said, oh no, I don't have a problem at all. And he doesn't say another word. So you'll lower it? Oh no, I'm not going to lower it, but I don't have a problem with it. Now go, and you went on.
Right. That's a good way. Just no, I don't.
I don't have a problem with it.
What I would have, because what John asked in that situation today was, since I'm lowering my price, are you going to lower your commission? And what I would respond to is, it's based on a percentage. Yeah, it's 3.5%. Guess what? It gets lowered. So whenever you lower your price, my commissions is adjusted accordingly. But let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and sign the contract today, so we can. Let's not worry about what I get made, what I get paid. Let's worry about your $500,000 or your, $435,000. You always want to refer to their number in the long form. So, don't say 430, say $430,000. We need to get that in your pocket, because that's the more important figure, is what you walk away with. So, yeah, you can do them all kinds of ways. You can just say, or you can just say, no, I don't do that. Any other questions? And that usually, they're just asking because why wouldn't they, right? But it's usually a stall tactic. Any objection you get really is because they're saying, whoa, man, you've only been here 20 minutes. The last agent here was 2 hours, and you want me to sign, but I like you, so I'm going to sign. In their mind, they're thinking, whoa. So they come up with some objection or something that's silly. Just handle it and say, great, sign the contract. Your communication, one thing you said was perfect, that I'm a master negotiator. That's what I do. So sign the contract. Let me deal with that. Don't worry about you negotiating. Let me work the negotiation.
Ron, I had
And you know what, Arthur? I'm going to share something with you, something that I didn't say in here. But when I do start the presentation, I was totally on the fly here and nervous.
Right.
But when I do the presentation, I let them know I'm a checklist girl. So I'm going to be using my notes. And the reason I do that is because sometimes I can get nervous, especially with people who you don't know. I feel like I know you guys. I mean, I can mess up. I love you guys. But I do tell them, hey, look, I'm a checklist girl. I'm going to be using my notes. I don't want to miss anything. But you're right. I do read my notes anyway. I do. I learned that from another agent, Elena or something. She
Selena.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
she gave me that word. I'm a checklist girl, and they say, oh, okay, yeah, they all for it.
I'm the one who gave her the checklist. Ask Tom about that.
Yeah.
Ron, I have a question that's oblique. It's not with the presentation that Deborah did a fine job on. She actually went through the presentation, but there's something I don't understand about the presentation and that is when she gave the illustration, which was straight from the script about using the car analogy. If there was a $50,000 car with no bells and whistles, and there was a $45,000 same car, but it had bells and whistles, which has the most value? Obviously, the 45 with bells and whistles. Then in the text, it says, well, but what about if the $50,000 showroom marked theirs down to 45? So now you've got both the same price, but one has bells and whistles. And you then ask, which one has the most value now? I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I don't know the intent of that question because
it's the cheaper one with no bells and whistles, because you can put your own bells and whistles in it.
Okay.
For less than what they're asking.
So I got you.
That's the comparison shopping point, is that you can buy one loaded or you can buy a base, and you can add your own stuff to it. So a lot of times, the reason that works is because people think, well, yeah, I don't have to put 100 square foot carpet in. I can put $50 square foot carpet in. You see what I mean? And bring that value up that way.
Okay.
Well, I had a
understand
situation.
the principle. I just didn't understand how that analogy was working to make the point, because you're lowering the one, and it sounded like that it seems like the implication is that would move that one into the best, but it doesn't.
Well, let me tell you, I had a situation where not too long ago, his place was loaded, okay? And he kind of overdid it in the neighborhood. He couldn't relate to that. He couldn't relate to that. He did not want to accept that at all. So I can see why you would think that way, because it kind of depends on the thought process. Where John's like, hey, I'm not going to be doing anything else. Where this seller, he had done too much and felt like he should have gotten the higher price, but actually he overdid it in the neighborhood. So I can relate to what you're saying, Arthur. I mean, on a mentality, you thinking it out. It does make sense too, because some people can't. They're like, no, I want all the bells and whistles, and I want the price too.
All the upgrades that they do, you got to remind them that they did it for their own pleasure, their own use of the product, and that I'm sorry, hold on, and that to the market it doesn't make much difference. But did you enjoy the hot tub? Okay, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it's not going to add much more value to the market. The market's saying no to it. Now, what you want to do on your particular thing was where you went, when you do, look, three things will happen here tonight. Number one is you'll decide to list your home with me. Number two is you'll decide not to list your home with me. Or number three, I'll decide I can't take the listing. Now then, list your home with me, guys, is an embedded command. So when you really start to study the simple Mike Ferry scripts, that's the embedded command. Okay, and you'll notice that every question is going to have one of those, and so I assume you're going to list with me, you see, at a price that will cause the home to sell. List with me when you list your home tonight. After we sign the contract. Those are all embedded commands. So you want to think before you step on them. You want to kind of pause a little and then change your voice a little bit to a little stronger. List with me.
Okay.
It's an NLP training. That's what that teaches you. Everything is kind of in embedded commands, shaking your head, moving your head like this. That works. Believe it or not, it's just a slight psychology, but it works.
Thank you, Ron. That's good stuff. That's a good tip. That is.
Yeah. So if you just break down your script, especially the Mike Ferry script is very simple script, list with me, sign the contract. All those things are embedded commands. So you want to, when you're zipping along, kind of pause and say, when you list with me, or when you list with me, that embedded command should be stronger. Point to yourself, say yes, and
Mhm.
they'll start agreeing with you. You want to get them agreeing with you right off the bat, like you do with your communication contract. That communication contract, the way you use it is great. You know, and that's the number one problem with agents is they don't talk to their sellers enough. You
Mhm.
picked up on mine. I call my sellers every day in this market. I give them a daily update, whether I text them or email or I call them. I'll send them a quick update. What I did for you today. What I did for you today. In fact, before I got on this call, I sent one to an agent. I mean, to a client of mine that I'm going to be on a group mastermind call, picking up what's happening from coast to coast. Everything you do, you want to convey as you're helping your clients because you are. You're going to pick up nuggets from everybody on this group. You're going to pick up, the techniques that other people are using so that it'll help you. And then you also know what their markets are doing. So, and then I just convey that to my clients every day. At the end, before I power down, or like he called me and I called him back right before this group and, told him what I've been doing for him. So when you call in the morning, why are you calling around just listed, just sold? Or if you ask an expired, where are you moving to next? If you sell this one, where are you moving to next? A FISBO, where are you moving to next? And they say Happy Hollow subdivision, you have a listing in Happy Hollow subdivision. Guess what? That's why you do it. You want to put those together, see? But you want to convey that to your current clients. That's why you work so hard in the morning to make these phone calls. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Stephen, you got any comments or questions or?
Nothing right now, Ron. I think Deborah did a great job, and
Thank you.
I'm just learning more every day. So,
All right. All right. Anybody else? Art, you got any more questions for us? Or Lily? Lily?
I don't have a question
Okay.
to the fact. It might, but when Deborah was working to get him to be realistic to see the price, and you had a comp there, it felt like, if my thought was, if she had bracketed the price she wanted by showing two comps, maybe one on either side, and had already pointed out how the high one was a little bit better and the low one was a little bit less, maybe he could have been led to make that decision himself, just basically, well, yeah, mine's not that good, but yeah, it's better than that. Look at the prices. Yeah, probably about right in the middle. I think you could have set him up to make the decision so you didn't have to. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
it felt like he
That's
could
a
have
good tip. And I'm working on this part of my presentation too, really making sure that I don't have too many comps. But that is spot on, Arthur, with what you're saying. Have it set up where you have those. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think that you should go in with your documents filled out with the price. I don't like giving an option on the price or anything like that. What I do pretty much is say, this is what it's going to take to get it sold. That's why
Yeah.
you're hiring me, right? So, hold on. Got it.
So,
Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
yes, we are.
Yeah. So I like sending the price out there before I get there. If they call you before you get there, or you call them to confirm we're still on at 4 o'clock, and they say something, well, I don't really like your price, Ron. Fantastic. That'll be the first thing we go over when I get there. Okay. Don't ask them what you don't like about it. Don't dwell on it. Just say that'll be the first one we talk about. And then when you get there, go into your regular presentation. But if they bring up the price, just say, let's go to the kitchen table and let's talk a little bit. And then show them your price. Show them where you come from. But the truth is, that's what it's going to take for me to get it sold in this market. And if you don't like the truth, then we have to talk about that, don't we? But most of the time, they've got a price in mind and you got a price in mind, but who's the expert here? Right?
And you know what, Ron? I never call to confirm. Once it's on my calendar, I don't call to confirm. I take myself right over there. And I noticed that I learned that, I believe, I don't know, maybe it was, I don't know who I learned it from. It was from this, espresso.
A lot of them
But
don't. Jim doesn't do it.
yeah, yeah, it probably
I
was Jim. I don't call to confirm. Look, you're on my calendar. And let me tell you what I found out happens when I don't. If they're a little off on their schedule, they might say, "Are we still on?" I'm like, "Oh, absolutely. I'll see you at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock." They hit me up
yeah.
because I didn't hit them up.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, it works either way. I prefer calling them because I want to know if there's anything I need to prepare for. What's that objection going to be? And normally it's always the price. But Galaxy,
Yes.
go
Hey
ahead.
guys, I do apologize. Just technical difficulties. I hope I can do better next time. But I've heard a lot of it, most of it, and I do like it. I know I couldn't do that good, sorry, but I have learned a lot. And Deborah, when it comes to pricing, that is why we have so many expired, because we go with what our seller says, and we're not looking at the big picture. And I like that you pointed out to John that if the house next door is selling for 500,000, there you are not going to be competing if you have yours lower, because people are going to want to come and see yours. And that is a valid point. Yes, twisting its arm to bring it down to see your point is kind of difficult, but the main point is that he wants to go to Pratt, and that is one way of going there instead of sitting on the market. So I really like that aspect of it.
Great comment.
You guys did a good job.
Guys, I appreciate you all for participating. You got to get involved. Take this and show it to your clients. Art, I love the shirt. You got the same shirt? Is that the same shirt we had on before? Some of these will be, I make clips and I send them out. If you guys are on a clip, I try to put it out to groups on, community groups with Facebook that are in your area. So use those clips or use parts of the, of the video and to promote yourself. So I recommend you do that all day long, just get them out there, and let people see that you worked on your craft, that you're working, you're practicing, and you're role playing with people every day so that you can get better.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And do that. I gave that tip this morning that we're at 199 days for this year. This is the 199th day. So you still have 199 days to hit your goal. So put that on your calendar, start marking it down each day, or get your little countdown timer. But we're at we just came under the 200 mark. So we got plenty of time to keep going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. I've got to cut it short, and then we'll get on Jim's call in a few minutes.
Cool.
Thank you. See you
guys.
Good job,
okay,
John.
thank you
so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
See you guys.
Thank you, John.